Imagine this, a towering glass building in the heart of New York City, home to Evergreen Innovations, a cutting-edge biotech company. At the top of it all sits James Holden, the CEO. He's the kind of man who commands a room with a single glance, sharp suit, sharper mind. But there's a catch. For years, he's battled chronic insomnia. No pills, no therapy, nothing works. He's a man who hasn't had a good night's sleep in what feels like forever. That is, until one wild night changes everything. It's the annual company gala, a glitzy affair packed with champagne and corporate egos. James, usually so composed, lets loose a little too much. The drinks flow, the music blares, and somewhere between the third cocktail and the fifth, he loses track of himself. Enter Hannah Grayson, a janitor at Evergreen. She's not your typical gala guest. No fancy gown, no dazzling jewelry, just her usual work uniform and a quiet determination. Hannah's there late, cleaning up after hours, when she spots James stumbling out of the ballroom. He's a mess, tie loose, words slurring, and clearly in no state to be seen by the paparazzi lurking outside. She can't just leave him there. It's her job to keep things tidy, right? So she does what any decent person might. She helps him back to his office on the top floor, away from prying eyes. Here's where it gets blurry. James, barely coherent, insists she stay for a minute. There's a bottle of whiskey on his desk, a leftover from some late-night meeting. He pours a glass, then another, and somehow Hannah ends up sipping too. They talk, they laugh, and then, well, things happen. It's a haze of warmth and whiskey, and before either of them knows it, they're tangled up together on the plush office couch. For James, it's the first time in years he falls into a deep, dreamless sleep. For Hannah, it's a moment of panic, when she wakes up hours later, realizing what's happened. She bolts before dawn, leaving behind a small silver bracelet, a keepsake from her mom, tangled in the cushions. Morning comes, and James stirs, awake, alone. His head pounds, but something's different. He feels rested, truly rested for the first time in ages. There's a faint scent lingering in the air, something warm and woody, like sandalwood. It's intoxicating, calming, and it's the only clue he has about the mystery woman who shared his night. He finds the bracelet, a delicate thing with a tiny charm, and clutches it like it's a lifeline. Who was she? He has to know. That scent, that peace, it's something he's been chasing for years. Meanwhile, Hannah's back in the basement, scrubbing floors, her heart racing. She can't believe she slept with the CEO, her boss, the guy whose name is on every memo she's ever seen. She's terrified he'll find out, fire her, or worse, make a scene. She just wants to forget it ever happened. But fate has other plans. Enter Vanessa Pierce, Evergreen's sleek and ambitious senior manager. She's in James's office that morning, delivering reports, when she spots the bracelet on his desk. James, still dazed, mutters about the night before, the woman, the scent. Vanessa's sharp eyes narrow. She doesn't know who it was, but she sees an opportunity. She picks up the bracelet, twirls it in her fingers, and says nothing to correct him when he assumes it's hers. Why would she? If James thinks she's the one, it could mean power, influence, maybe even his heart. So the stage is set. James is on a mission to find the woman who gave him that one perfect night of sleep, armed with nothing but a bracelet and a haunting scent. Hannah's desperate to stay invisible, praying her secret stays buried. And Vanessa? She's ready to play the game, weaving a lie to keep James close. 3 lives, 1 night, and a mystery that's about to unravel everything. Will James figure out who was really with him that night? Will Hannah's quiet life survive the spotlight? Or will Vanessa's cunning steal it all? Stick around, because this is just the beginning of a story that's got love, lies, and a whole lot of surprises up its sleeve. James Holden can't shake it. That scent of sandalwood lingers in his mind like a ghost, teasing him with the memory of a night he can't fully piece together. He's back in his corner office at Evergreen Innovations, staring out at the New York skyline, but his thoughts aren't on quarterly reports or stock prices. They're on her, whoever she is. The bracelet sits on his desk, a tiny silver riddle he turns over in his fingers. He's determined to find her, not just because of what happened, but because of what it did to him. For one night, he slept. Really slept. And for a man who spent years chasing rest like it's some impossible dream, that's worth everything. His first stop is Vanessa Pierce. She's in his office again, all polished heels and confident smiles, dropping off a stack of files. James doesn't waste time. He holds up the bracelet and asks if it's hers. Vanessa freezes for a split second, just long enough for her brain to catch up. Then she nods. She doesn't say much, just lets him assume, and he does. He tells her he remembers bits and pieces, the drinks, the couch, that scent. Vanessa plays along, her voice smooth as silk, saying she didn't expect him to make a big deal out of it. Inside, she's calculating. If James thinks she's the one, it's a golden ticket, a way to get closer to the top, maybe even into his life. But there's a problem she's already fixing. The security footage from the gala night, the one that might show Hannah dragging a stumbling James to his office, it's gone. Vanessa made sure of it, logging into the system early that morning and wiping it clean. No evidence, no questions, just her word against the truth. Meanwhile, Hannah Grayson is elbow deep in a mop bucket, trying to scrub away the memory of her colossal mistake. She's replaying it over and over, how she went from cleaning up spilled champagne to waking up next to the CEO. She's kicking herself for not leaving sooner, for taking that extra sip of whiskey, for letting her guard down. She's got enough on her plate without this mess. Her job barely pays the rent. Her mom's counting on her. And now she's terrified James will figure it out. She's seen the way people like him operate. All power and no mercy. If he finds her, she's done. Fired, humiliated, gone. So, she keeps her head down, blends into the background like she always has, hoping he'll never connect the dots. But fate's got a funny way of messing with plans. It's late afternoon when Hannah's assigned to clean James's office. She's pushing her cart through the door, praying he's not there, but of course he is. He's at his desk, sleeves rolled up, looking every bit the tired genius she's heard about. She mutters an apology, starts to back out, but he stops her. He's been tinkering with a prototype, a sleek little machine Evergreen's developing to filter air and release calming scent. It's not working right, he says, and he's frustrated. Hannah, desperate to get out of there, glances at it. She's no engineer, but she knows smells. Growing up, she'd mix herbs and oils to drown out the chaos of her house, a trick she learned from her mom. Without thinking, she suggests tweaking the mix, maybe adding something woody to balance it. James hands it over, curious, and she fiddles with it, pouring in a drop of sandalwood extract she keeps in her cart for cleaning. The room fills with that scent, warm and rich, and James freezes. It's her. It has to be. He stares at Hannah, this quiet janitor in her faded uniform, and his mind races. Could it be? She's nothing like Vanessa, no polish, no swagger, but that smell, it's unmistakable. He asks where she got it, his voice sharp. Hannah stammers, says it's just something she uses, nothing special. She's sweating now, practically tripping over her mop to get away, but James isn't letting it go. He's not sure yet. Not without proof. But the seed's planted. Vanessa's story doesn't quite fit anymore. Vanessa catches wind of this, though. She's in the break room later, overhearing a coworker mention Hannah cleaning the CEO's office. Her radar goes off. She's not about to let some nobody steal her shot. So she pulls strings, bumps Hannah's workload. Extra shifts, late nights, the grimiest tasks she can find. She tells the custodial supervisor it's a test. Says Hannah's been slacking, which is a lie. Hannah grits her teeth and takes it. She's used to hard work, used to people looking down on her. She powers through, hauling trash bags, scrubbing floors until her hands ache, all while Vanessa watches from her glass-walled office, smirking. But here's the thing. James notices. He's leaving late one night, sees Hannah still there, wrestling with a busted vacuum, and something clicks. She's not just tough, she's got grit, the kind he respects. He stops, offers to help, and she brushes him off with a nervous laugh, saying it's her job, not his. He likes that the way she doesn't grovel. Days turn into weeks, and James can't stop thinking about her. The scent, the bracelet, the pieces don't add up with Vanessa anymore. He's losing sleep again, but not like before. Now it's because he's restless, chasing a truth he can't grasp. One evening he finds Hannah in the lobby, clocking out, and makes a move. He says he's been thinking about that night, about what happened, and he feels responsible. He doesn't know it's her, not for sure, but he's got a hunch, and he's not the type to let things slide. He tells her he's got a guest room at his place in Manhattan, a sprawling townhouse with views of the park. She should stay there, he says, just until they figure this out. It's not a request, not really, more like a CEO giving an order he expects followed. Hannah's stomach drops. Live with him? In his house? She wants to say no, to run, but there's something in his eyes, a mix of exhaustion and hope that stops her. She's broke, her apartment's a dump, and maybe, just maybe, this could be a way out, or a way deeper in. She nods, barely audible, and James smiles, a rare, genuine thing. Vanessa, though, she's not smiling. She's in her office, watching them leave together through the window, her nails digging into her palms. She's underestimated Hannah, and that's a mistake she won't make twice. She's got plans, big ones, and this janitor's not going to ruin them. James might think he's in control, but Vanessa's already rewriting the game. And Hannah? She's just stepped into a world she's not ready for, a world where love and lies are about to collide. Hannah Grayson steps into James Holden's Manhattan townhouse, and it's like walking into another world. The place is all sleek marble floors, towering windows, and furniture that probably costs more than her entire life. She's clutching her duffel bag, feeling like an intruder, while James shows her to a guest room bigger than her old apartment. He's casual about it, like inviting a janitor to live with him is no big deal, but Hannah's a mess inside. She's still reeling from the gala night, still terrified he'll figure out it was her, and now she's sleeping under his roof. She tells herself it's temporary, just until she can save up and get out, but deep down, she's not so sure. James, though, is different around her. He's still the CEO, all sharp edges and quiet authority, but there's a softness creeping in. He catches her in the kitchen one morning, fumbling with his fancy coffee machine, and instead of barking orders, he laughs. It's a low, warm sound she didn't expect, and it throws her off. They start talking, small stuff at first, about the weather, the city, how she likes her coffee black because it's cheaper that way. But it grows. Nights stretch into long conversations over takeout, him in a worn t-shirt, her in borrowed sweatpants, and suddenly, he's not just the boss anymore. He's James, the guy who listens when she rambles about her day, who notices how she hums while she cooks. And for James, Hannah's a puzzle he's starting to unravel. She's quick, funny, tougher than she looks, and every time she's near, that sandalwood scent drifts in, pulling him back to that night. He's sleeping better, too. Not perfect, but better. And he's starting to think it's because of her. One evening, they're on the rooftop terrace, the city sparkling below. James asks about her life, not the polished version, the real one. Hannah hesitates, then spills it. She grew up in Brooklyn, not the trendy part, the rough end where sirens never stop. Her mom worked double shifts at a diner, her dad drank whatever they had left. He wasn't a kind drunk either, fists flying when the money ran out. Hannah learned early to stay quiet, to disappear, but she found something in the chaos. Sense. Her mom would bring home scraps of herbs from the diner, and Hannah would mix them with cheap oils, making little bottles of calm to drown out the yelling. It was her escape, her way to breathe. She tells James how she dreamed of something bigger, maybe a shop of her own, but life kept her small. She's not fishing for pity, just stating facts, but when she finishes, James is silent. Then he says, almost to himself, that she's stronger than anyone he's met. It's the first time she feels seen, really seen, and it shakes her. Back at Evergreen, though, trouble's brewing. Vanessa Pierce isn't sitting still. She's watched James and Hannah leave together too many times, seen the way he looks at her, and it's eating her alive. She's not just jealous, She's furious. She spent years clawing her way up, perfecting her image, and now this janitor's threatening everything. So she doubles down. She's already got Dorothy Bennett, James's stepmother, in her corner. Dorothy's a cold, calculating woman who's never forgiven James for taking over Evergreen after his dad died. She wanted her own son Ryan in that chair, but James was the golden boy, the one with the vision. Dorothy's been waiting for a chance to knock him down, and Vanessa's handing it to her on a platter. They start with rumors, whispering to board members that James is distracted, that he's sleeping with Vanessa, that he's losing his edge. It's a slow poison, but it's working. People are talking, and James feels the heat. Hannah's caught in the crossfire even if she doesn't know it yet. She's back at work, still scrubbing floors, but James has other ideas. He pulls her into a project, something Evergreen's been tinkering with for months, a machine that filters air and releases therapeutic scents. It's meant to be a game changer, a blend of biotech and wellness, but the scent profiles are off. James remembers how Hannah fixed that prototype, how she knew exactly what it needed, and he wants her input. She's reluctant, says she's no scientist, just a cleaner, but he insists. He sets her up in a lab corner, nothing fancy, just a table and some tools, and tells her to try. She does, mixing oils, testing blends, and soon she's got something, a formula with sandalwood, lavender, a hint of cedar. It's warm, soothing, perfect. James tested in his office, and it's like that night all over again. He's sold, tells her it's going into production for the big launch. Hannah's stunned. She's never been more than invisible, and now she's part of something huge. Vanessa sees this, and it's the last straw. She's not about to let Hannah shine. She's got access to the lab thanks to her rank, and she uses it. Late one night, she slips in, tampers with Hannah's prototype. She adds a volatile compound, something flammable she pulls from a storage shelf, and rigs it to overheat. She's careful, makes it look like a design flaw, and skips the final safety check, claiming it's already cleared. It's sabotage, pure and simple. But she's betting on it taking Hannah down, maybe even James too. If the launch fails, if it's a disaster, the board will turn on him, and Dorothy's ready to push Ryan into his spot. Vanessa doesn't care about the fallout, as long as she comes out on top. James and Hannah, though, they're oblivious. They're too wrapped up in each other. He's taking her to dinners now, not fancy places, just hole-in-the-wall spots where they can talk without eyes on them. She's teaching him how to cook, laughing when he burns the eggs, and he's opening up too. He tells her about his dad, how he built Evergreen from nothing, how he died too soon and left James with a legacy he's scared he'll ruin. He admits the insomnia started then, the weight of it all keeping him awake. Hannah listens, doesn't judge, just rests her hand on his. It's quiet moments like these that pull them closer, that make James wonder if she's more than a hunch, if she's the one he's been chasing. He's still not sure, still wrestling with Vanessa's story, but Hannah's becoming something he can't let go of. The launch is looming, a massive event at the New York Convention Center. Hannah's nervous. Her machine's the star, and she's never been in the spotlight. James is proud, though, tells her she's earned this, that she's brilliant. She blushes, mumbles something about just doing her job, but he sees the spark in her. They're a team now, whether she admits it or not, and he's starting to feel things he hasn't in years. Love, maybe, or something close, but Vanessa and Dorothy, they're watching, waiting. The trap's set, the machine's ticking, and what's coming next isn't just a launch, it's a reckoning. For James, for Hannah, for everyone. The chaos is about to explode, and it's going to test everything they've built. The New York Convention Center buzzes with energy. It's the big day, the launch of Evergreen Innovations' new air filtering machine, and the place is packed. Investors in sharp suits, reporters with flashing cameras, employees whispering about the buzz. Hannah Grayson stands backstage, twisting her hands, feeling like she's about to throw up. She's in a borrowed blazer James insisted she wear, nothing fancy, but it's still a far cry from her janitor's uniform. She's never been this exposed, never had so many eyes waiting for something she made. The machine, Her machine sits center stage, sleek and silver, humming softly with her sandalwood blend. James Holden is beside her, calm as ever, giving her a quick nod. He's in his element, ready to pitch this to the world, and he's counting on her. She tries to smile, but her stomach's in knots. She's not sure she belongs here, not sure she can handle this, but James believes in her, and that's enough to keep her standing. The presentation starts smooth. James steps up, all charisma and confidence, talking about innovation, wellness, how this machine could change lives. He credits Hannah, calls her the heart of the project, and the crowd claps, polite but curious. She blushes, ducks her head, wishing she could disappear. Vanessa Pierce watches from the front row, arms crossed, her face a mask of cool indifference. She's playing her part perfectly, the supportive manager, but inside, she's counting down. Dorothy Bennett's there too, a few rows back, her lips tight, eyes fixed on James. They've set the stage, and they're ready for it to fall apart. The machine's been tampered with, rigged with that flammable compound Vanessa slipped in, and she's bypassed the safety checks. All it needs is a spark, a little heat, and boom, disaster. She's betting on chaos to bury James, to make him look reckless, incompetent, and Hannah's just collateral damage. James flips the switch for the demo. The machine whirs louder, filling the room with that warm, woody scent Hannah crafted. People lean forward, impressed, murmuring approval. For a moment, it's perfect. Then it happens. A faint hiss, a flicker of light inside the casing, and before anyone can react, the machine erupts. Flames shoot out, glass shatters, and the crowd screams, scrambling back. Smoke chokes the air, thick and acrid, nothing like the calm scent it's supposed to be. Hannah freezes, her mind blank, watching her dream explode. James doesn't hesitate. He grabs her arm, pulls her toward the exit, but a second blast knocks them down. Debris flies, a chunk of metal grazes his shoulder, and he shoves Hannah behind him, taking the hit. Blood seeps through his shirt, his face twists in pain, and then he's out, collapsing on the floor as chaos swallows the room. Hannah's on her knees, coughing, her ears ringing. She crawls to James, shakes him, yells his name, but he's limp, eyes closed. Panic claws at her. She can't lose him, not now, not like this. People are running, shouting, but she's stuck there, cradling his head, tears streaking through the soot on her face. She doesn't think, just talks, words spilling out. She tells him it was her, that night at the gala, her on the couch, her bracelet, her scent. She's been too scared to say it, too scared he'd hate her, but she can't hold it back anymore. She's pregnant, she whispers, barely audible over the sirens, and she needs him to wake up, needs him to know. It's raw, messy, a confession she never meant to make, but it's all she has left to give. Hours pass in a blur. James is rushed to the hospital, unconscious but alive. Hannah's there, pacing the waiting room, her blazer torn, her hands shaking. She blames herself, thinks it's her fault, her machine, her failure. She doesn't know about Vanessa, doesn't know it was sabotage. She's ready to run again, disappear like she always has, when Ryan Kessler walks in. James's younger brother, all easy grins and messy hair, looks out of place in the sterile hospital glow. He's got news, says he's been digging, and he's got something big. Ryan's never bought Dorothy's schemes, never wanted her games. He's known Vanessa was trouble too, and when he heard about the explosion, he checked the security logs. He found traces of the deleted gala footage. Not enough to see everything, but enough to prove Vanessa tampered with it. Then he pulled lab access records, saw her late-night visit, and it clicked. He's got proof she's behind this, and he's not letting it slide. James comes too, groggy, his shoulder bandaged, his head pounding. He's in a hospital bed, Hannah hovering nearby, Ryan leaning against the wall. He hears her voice first, faint, echoing her confession, and it hits him. It was her. Always her. He looks at her, really looks, and sees the truth in her wide, scared eyes. He asks, quiet, if it's real, the night, the baby, all of it. She nods, tears spilling again, and says she's sorry, sorry for hiding, sorry for everything. James doesn't care about apologies. He reaches for her hand, weak but steady, and tells her he's glad it's her, that he's been chasing her all along without knowing it. Ryan cuts in, grinning, says they've got bigger problems. He lays it out. Vanessa's sabotage, Dorothy's plot, the whole ugly mess. James listens, anger flaring, but he's not surprised. He's dealt with snakes before. They confront Vanessa back at Evergreen. A tense meeting in the boardroom. She's there, smug, thinking the explosion sealed James's fate. Dorothy's beside her, ready to push Ryan forward. But James walks in, battered but standing, Hannah at his side, Ryan trailing with a laptop full of evidence. He doesn't waste words. He plays the logs, shows Vanessa's lab entry, the deleted footage, the compound's chemical signature found in the wreckage. The board's silent, stunned. Vanessa tries to spin it, says it's a setup, but Ryan shuts her down, says he's done with Dorothy's lies too. He drops his own bomb. He's gay, has no interest in the CEO chair, and he's backing James all the way. Dorothy's face twists, her plan crumbling, and Vanessa's mask slips, rage breaking through. James takes the floor. He calls Vanessa out, says she's done, fired, and the cops are on their way. He turns to Hannah, right there in front of everyone, and says she's the one he trusts, the one he's been looking for. It's not just about the machine, not just about that night. It's her. He's not polished about it, not poetic, just honest. And it's enough. Hannah's crying again, but it's different now. Relief mixing with something deeper. The room's a mess of whispers, but James doesn't care. He's got her, and that's what matters. Vanessa storms out. Dorothy slinks away, and the truth's laid bare. The explosion didn't break them. It showed them who they are and what they could be. But this isn't the end, not yet. There's one more move to make, one more promise to keep. The annual Evergreen Innovations Gala is in full swing, a glittering redo after the convention center disaster. The ballroom's decked out, chandeliers gleaming, champagne flowing, but the air's thick with tension. James Holden walks in, his shoulder still stiff from the injury, his suit hiding the bandages. Hannah Grayson's beside him, her arm looped through his, no borrowed blazer this time, just a simple dress she picked herself. She's nervous, keeps glancing at the crowd, but James squeezes her hand, steady as ever. They're not here to celebrate, not yet. They're here to finish what Vanessa Pierce and Dorothy Bennett started. The board's watching, investors too, and the whispers are loud. James is on thin ice after the explosion, and Dorothy's ready to strike. Vanessa's there, front and center, all sharp smiles and sharper heels. She's been spinning her story since the hospital, telling anyone who'll listen that James set her up, that the sabotage was his fault, a desperate move to cover his own mistakes. Dorothy's backing her, playing the grieving stepmother, saying James has lost control, that Evergreen needs new blood. They've got allies, a few board members, Dorothy swayed with promises and cash, and they're pushing for a vote tonight to oust James as CEO. Ryan Kessler's in the mix too, lounging by the bar, but he's not their pawn anymore. He's got his own play, and he's waiting for the right moment. James takes the stage. No notes, no script, just him. He's pale, still healing, but his voice cuts through the room. He starts with the explosion, owns it, says it was a failure, but not his. He pulls up the evidence Ryan dug up, projects it on the big screen behind him. Vanessa's lab entry logs, the chemical traces of the flammable compound, the wiped security footage from the gala. It's damning, piece by piece, and the crowd shifts, murmurs growing. Vanessa jumps up, interrupts, says it's fabricated, that James is desperate. Dorothy stands too, calls him reckless, unfit, says Ryan should step in. The room's splitting, some nodding with her, others unsure. That's when Ryan moves. He strolls up, casual, a drink still in his hand, and takes the mic from James. He's grinning, but there's steel in his eyes. He says he's got no interest in running Evergreen, never has, and Dorothy's delusional if she thinks he'll play her game. He tells the room he's gay, always been, and is not about to let his mom use him to stab his brother in the back. Then he drops the real bomb. He's pulled financial records, found Dorothy's been skimming company funds funneling them to offshore accounts. He's got dates, amounts, proof she's been planning this for years. The board gasps. Dorothy's face goes white and Vanessa's smugness cracks. Ryan hands the mic back to James, shrugs, and says he's done. James doesn't gloat. He's too tired for that. He lays it out plain. Vanessa sabotaged the machine, Dorothy's a thief, and they're both finished. He calls security right there in front of everyone, and 2 guards escort Vanessa out. She's yelling, cursing, but no one's buying her act anymore. Dorothy tries to slip away, but the board stops her, demanding answers. James lets them handle it, turns to the crowd and says Evergreen's his. Always will be. He's not perfect, he admits, but he's not giving up. Then he looks at Hannah, still standing off stage, and pulls her up with him. He says, she's the real deal, the one who made that machine, the one who's kept him going. He's not shy about it, tells them she's his wife, or will be, if she'll have him. The room erupts, applause mixing with shock, but James just keeps his eyes on her. Hannah's floored. She's not used to this, the lights, the attention, him saying it out loud like that. She nods, shaky, says yes before she can overthink it, and James pulls her close, kisses her right there, no hesitation. It's messy, real, and the crowd loves it, cheering louder. For the first time, Hannah doesn't feel small. She feels like she belongs, like she's enough. The gala shifts, turns into something else, a celebration of them, of surviving the storm. Vanessa's gone, Dorothy's done, and James is still standing, stronger, with Hannah beside him. A week later, they're out of the city, driving upstate to a sprawling farm James bought on a whim. It's quiet, green, the kind of place Hannah's only seen in pictures. He parks, leads her out to a field and says it's hers, all of it. Acres of land to grow whatever she wants, herbs, flowers, anything she needs for her sense. She stares, can't believe it, asks why, and he says it's simple. She's his peace, his home, and he wants her to have everything she's dreamed of. He gets down on one knee, no crowd this time, just them, and asks again, proper, with a ring he picked himself. It's not flashy, just a band with a tiny wooden inlay, sandalwood, a nod to how they started. Hannah laughs, cries, says yes again, and they're kissing in the middle of nowhere, the wind carrying that familiar scent around them. They sit there after, watching the sun dip low, painting the sky orange and pink. James talks about the future, not just Evergreen, but them. He says he wants a family, a big one, loud and messy and full of life. Hannah teases him, asks if he's ready for diapers and chaos, and he grins, says he's ready for anything with her. She rests her head on his shoulder, feels the baby kick inside her, and knows he means it. They've come through fire, literal and not, and they're still here, still whole. The farm stretches out ahead, endless possibility, and for once, Hannah's not running, she's staying, building, with him. The scene fades, but it's not hard to picture them years from now. A house full of kids, machines humming with her scents, James still looking at her like she's the only thing that matters. They've got a long road, sure, but they've already beaten the odds. It started with a night neither of them planned, a scent that pulled them together, and now it's forever. James and Hannah, the CEO and the janitor, proof that love doesn't care where you come from, only where you're going. And there you have it, folks, the end of James and Hannah's wild, beautiful ride, from a janitor mopping floors to the heart of a CEO's world. Hannah Grayson turned everything upside down. It all started with one crazy night, a splash of whiskey, and that unforgettable sandalwood scent that pulled them together. They faced explosions, betrayal, and a whole lot of corporate backstabbing, but they came out stronger, hand in hand, ready to build a life bigger than either of them ever dreamed. James Holden, the guy who couldn't sleep, found his peace in the most unexpected place, and Hannah, the girl who spent her life hiding, stepped into the light with him. It's a story about love sneaking up when you least expect it, about fighting through the chaos to find something real. And I don't know about you, but I'm still smiling thinking about that sunset on their farm, the promise of a loud, messy, wonderful family ahead. This journey had it all, didn't it? Drama that kept us on edge, like Vanessa's sabotage blowing up in her face, literally, and Dorothy's schemes crashing down at that gala. Then the romance, those quiet moments where James and Hannah found each other, from rooftop talks to burnt eggs in the kitchen. And let's not forget the tears, Hannah spilling her heart in that smoky wreckage, thinking she'd lost him only to get him back with a truth that changed everything. It's the kind of tale that sticks with you, a reminder that love doesn't care about titles or bank accounts. It just finds a way. Whether it was James shielding her from the blast, or Hannah saying yes to that ring in the middle of a field, they showed us what it means to hold on, to build something out of nothing. So what did you think? I've been pouring my heart into telling this story, and I'd love to hear from you. What hit you the hardest? Was it the explosion? That heart-stopping moment when James went down? Or maybe Ryan stepping up, tossing Dorothy's plans out the window with that grin of his? Could it be the proposal? James giving Hannah a whole farm to chase her dreams? Tying it all back to that scent that started it? Whatever it was, drop it in the comments below. I read every single one, and trust me, your thoughts mean the world to me. This channel's about sharing stories like this, ones that make us feel, make us root for people like James and Hannah, and you're a huge part of that. If this story got to you, if it made you laugh or tear up or just sit there grinning like I did, hit that like button. It's a little thing, but it tells me you're with me, that you want more of these roller coaster rides. And if you're new here, welcome. This is what we do. We dive into love stories that twist and turn, that break your heart and put it back together. So smack that subscribe button and ring the bell. You won't miss a thing, I promise. I've got more coming, more tales of people beating the odds, finding each other in the mess of life, and I can't wait to share them with you. Let's keep this going, okay? Tell me what you loved, what you'd change, what you want to see next. Maybe a story about a small-town baker and a big-city lawyer, or a musician and a stranger who changes their tune. I'm all ears, because this isn't just my channel, it's ours. James and Hannah's story is proof that the wildest beginnings can lead to the best endings. And I'm here to keep finding those for us. So, comment, like, subscribe, let's talk about it. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll chase another love story, another shot at happily ever after. Until then, keep believing in the unexpected, because sometimes that's where the magic happens. Thanks for watching, you're the best, and I'll catch you soon.